Hello class, welcome back to another video. This one's going to be on AlertViews. So if you're using the iPhone, if you remember the old AlertViews, and they've modified since then. So let's actually pull up a new screen here, and I will go to my favorite website browser. We'll call it iPhone Alert. All right. So let's go to images. And it could be, okay, so I was hoping to get something like this. So when originally iPhone came out, it had these alerts right here. So these crazy, which were awesome, by the way. Let me remind you, so these were pretty cool when they came out. So they had these right here. Now, they have different alerts. Alerts are a little bit different. So you could have alerts like this, which could be, well, these are notifications, but they're very similar to alerts. I'm trying to find an actual alert. So something like this would be probably, that's going to bring up what I don't want it to bring up. So these would be like good alerts. So we'll talk about how to do that in this video. So we'll actually create a screen that you click on a button and an alert appears. Now, how these alerts work is, you have an application, you have a configuration where you set. So let's say that, for example, someone sends you a message. So let's say you build a message app, and you could have in your program that it sends a message, and during that message, you call the alert feature. An alert feature kicks off and automatically appears without you having to click a button. But we're going to show you how to do it with just creating a button, and then you can go from there. Okay. So exit out here. First thing I'm going to do is create a new app. Single view, iOS. Hit next. I will call this My Alerts, and hit next and create. Perfect. First thing is first, always a storyboard. Start off with a storyboard so we can actually do something. So I will come over here and I will find myself a button. Let me make the screen bigger. That helps. Pull this guy up. That helps. All that helps. And find my button. Boom. We'll put the button up here somewhere so it'll be like where the AlertViews at. And I will change it to AlertView. And then I'm gonna add a label in here somewhere and just put it here. Center it. Perfect. Again, click the view controller, come over here, and then we want to go to the H. We want to add some real estate here because we're missing a lot of real estate. And then we're just going to do what we've been doing 800,000 times. It's just connecting these guys to the area. So I'm trying to get some real estate here. Then make it look like that, and I can always do this. Not a problem. So let's create. First thing create is my label. Drag and drop it in here. I'll just call it label and keep it as is. And now I need to do my alert. I'm going to drag the alert down here. This one's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be an action because we want to click on it, and I'll call it my alert view. And we'll keep everything else the same and hit connect. Okay, so all right, so we have our feature set up here. So let's click this guy back. Let's get rid of this and go over here. Let's actually click this guy here. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna go back to our programming, and we are going to we have our IB alert view. So we're gonna do our programming in here. So what we need to do is program an alert feature. So alert variable, which will should display two parameters, one for the title of the alert, one for the message. What will that message be? The other thing that we need to do is we need to create a button, and this button will have the feature that links to the alert. So the button will be like, so when you press the button, we'll display the text. So we'll say whatever the text is going to be, that'll be what'll be listed there. And then we'll have to, after we have that action done, in the next, after that feature, that function method is completed, we'll then have to call the alert. So what we'll do is we'll have that variable that we can call now, and then we'll be able to say alert, and then we'll say add action means button. So let's kind of get started with this, and it'll make more sense when I start typing it. Let me see. I wish I could zoom this in for you guys. I know there's a zoom in feature somewhere. Zoom, yes. There's a feature on here. Let me see if I'll find it. It's not working. Anyways, I'll just go from here. I have to work on figuring out how to make that zoom in for you guys. All right, so let's start writing our code. So UI, we're going to do alert controller. So if you ever see this where it says UI alert view and it has a cross off, it means whatever version that we're using, that that method is no longer available. So it probably changed and it's something else. So just keep that in mind. I haven't ran across it in our videos yet, but I'm sure it will happen. All right, so UI alert controller, and then we do a star called alert equals, and then we'll do in brackets, we'll do UI alert controller. They create that method, so we'll call alert controller with title. So like we mentioned, we want to have the title, the message, and so forth. So we have UI controller, alert controller with title. We have a bunch of errors I'm not worried about. So well, let's see here. So where we have alert controller, we want to take this out. So where the colon's at, I'm going to put at and call it title. Okay, oops, yeah. And then where we have message here, I'm just going to separate that a little bit. And I'm going to put message. And then we have preferred style. And we have UI alert. Let's see, this is taking a lot of real estate up. All right, so we have preferred style, which we should have. Then we should have UI alert control style alert. And then we need a bracket and an end. All right, so it doesn't like that. Well, we're not done with it yet because it's saying something's unused, and that's fine. So that's the first part of it. The second part is we need to do the button. So we have UI alert action, because what's going to happen is the button is going to be our action. It's going to be our action event. Oops, not 8. So star button, and then equals UI alert action. And then within our action, we're going to have an action with title. And then our action with title is going to be very similar. So we're going to have at button, because the button is our action event. All right, so we have style, and our style is going to be our UI action style default. So let's change that around. So we're going to say UI, I said action alert, UI alert action style default is what we want. And then handler, sorry, on the handler, we're going to have, we have that little caret there. So we want the caret, if we could keep it, and we want to, oops. So we have the caret here, and we want UI alert action, which we have, and then we null action, and that's good. So that, now what we need here, which is really cool, this feature is nice. It shows you that you're looking for some type of source code, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to type in self.label.text, and because we need it label, we're going to say equals, let's see, let's come up with something better. Something that will probably never happen, but we'll just jinx it right now. Pirates win World Series. Alright, so that probably never happened, but anyways. Nonetheless, so we come down here and we have to add a message right here. And now what we want to do is we want to be able to call our alert. So if we come here and type in alert, and then add action, and we want to do a button and that, and then we'll have to add some more code because right now it's saying that, all right, now it's gone. So recap real quick from what we talked about. We added a UI alert controller for alert. It's our controller that we're using, and that's where we're going to pass in a title and message, and then we're going to have the button, and the button's going to use the button as a title. And this right here is just stuff that has to come with it, and then we're putting in that code there saying what we want to display, and then we'll add the action button here. Okay, all right, so right now we're missing some items still. So now we need to present this to the screen. So I'll do a bracket here. We'll type in self present view controller. So we want to present the view controller right here. So within the present view controller, we want to do alert, because that's what we called it. We want to do animated, yes, and we want to do completion, and that'll be a null, and that'll be a null, so it'll be an IO, and that. Perfect. So let's see if this actually works. Oh, it's not going to work because that doesn't work. All right, so let's see what I did wrong. Let's see here. So self present view controller. I have that. We have the column. Oh, okay, that's separated from that. Let's see here. Animated, yes. All right. So by having this separated, it didn't know what. All right, still doesn't know what to do with it. Give me a second here. All right, animated, yes. Completion, null, nil actually. What to say? No visible interface. View controller declares a selector. Send it. All right, give me a second here. Let's see what the heck's happening. All right, so I try to figure out what I did wrong here. So I'm going to type it out again and see if that fixes it. So I'm going to wipe this out and see what I did wrong. So let's do this. Type in self. Maybe I typed something in wrong. Present view controller colon. I'm just going to type it out. Animated equals, oops, not equals, yes. Then I'm going to do completion. Sometimes it's just, a lot of times it's just the way that you type it. It just doesn't come over right. And let's see if that works. All right, so it didn't blow up on us, so that's probably right. So you just got to be careful when you're typing this. If it's very case sensitive. So now let's see if we can run it. That's the number one problem with apps not working. It's always something spelled wrong or whatever. So we have our alert view and our label. So let's see if we click alert view. All right, so one thing is it does display the message. It says title and message, which is displaying this title and message. It's not displaying what we said yet. So we have to fix something. So something's wrong. But the important thing is we're able to click on it and it clicks the button. Oh, okay, hold on. So we click the button, parts to win World Series. So it does say title and message, which is right. So that part is right, and we have button, but I don't like that. So it does say they won the World Series. So let's dig a little deeper. All right, so that's actually right. I just looked at the my notes. This is the way it's set up. It'll say title and message. It doesn't look pretty as button, but it's wins the World Series. So that's right. So what we need to do now is we need to add a cancel button, a cancel out if we want to. So if you remember, I showed you way back in the day they had a cancel. So let's see what we could do here. So we have, we're gonna write some, I'm gonna put some code here. This will be now I'm just gonna come down here and put cancel, cancel button. All right, so this is going to be very similar. So we're going to do UI alert action, and I'm going to call it cancel equals UI alert, alert action, and then we're going to do action with, I'm just going to type it out because I don't like it going all the way for me. Action with title, and we're going to call it dismiss, and then I'm going to do style. I'm going to do UI alert action style cancel. I spell right. Cancel. All right, there we go. So we have that feature in there. Then we have handler. I'm going to let it throw in my tick or my char, so I have to go find that feature on here. All right, so let's see here. All right, so handler, I'm going to make sure I got this right. UI alert, non-null, action, that's right. All right, so now we need some code here. It's gonna not like us. So now we're gonna use kind of a similar feature we used below. Actually, I'll show you what we could do here. Is we can do, no, we can't do that. we could do something like this a little bit. I'll show you what we can do. Let's copy this piece of code. Oh, so we don't, because I couldn't type it right last time. Paste it in here. Only difference is, let's see here. What did I do wrong? Why do I have that there? Don't want that down there. All right. So the only difference is I'm going to put alert here because we want to call the alert. And we're going to come up with a different view. Instead of present, we're going to do dismiss. Oops, if I can spell it right. All right, so we want to dismiss the view controller, alert. All right. You know what? Let me just type it out because I'm completely wrong on here. I'm thinking I could use this, but I can't. Some of it I could use. So it's alert, dismiss, view controller, and we'll do dismiss animated, yes. So we want to dismiss it. Completion, we want it to be null, like we have here. So completion is nil for null. We don't need any code there. So that's why it's getting a little confused here. Alright, it thinks that it needs something. Something is jacked up. Alright, why does it have that there? Alright, what's going on? Alright, so I got something going on here it doesn't like. Let's see here. So we gotta go back to square one. So let's take this. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I have a parentheses instead of a bracket. See how one little thing can mess it up. Alright. We don't need code there, so I'm not sure why it's acting like. Let's see if it works. Build failed. Alright, so it doesn't like that for some reason. So what did I do wrong? Alright, let's go back to drawing board. UI cancel, UI alert action. Action with title. Action with title, is that right? Action with title. Hold on. Action with title, yes. Style, UI alert, style, cancel, that's right. Handler, we have colon, caret. We have non-null, that's what we want. Action. That looks good. And then we have this guy right here. Then we have the code in there, which is alert. I don't know why it thinks it needs code here. Maybe it's a space where it's at. Let's cut this out for a second. Whew. Let's see real quick. What am I missing? Paste it back in there, so that's not the problem. Alright, I think that I do need this here. Jeez. Alright, so let's add some space here. So we're going to need to do the same thing down here. We're going to need to do alert, add, let's just do this, add action, cancel this time. And we're using that feature that we just created, that variable. Alright, so this looks a little better, so that's good. Alright, so let's see if it works this time. So we should have another button on here. So if we click alert view, perfect. Now we dismiss and button. So we click button, which we could change that value around. Let's actually do that real quick. So we called it button, let's call it submit. And let's run it again. This button just doesn't sound right. So okay, so now we have submit and dismiss. So if we hit submit, Pirates win the World Series. Let's do it again. Hit dismiss. It dismisses it altogether. So let's stop it and run it from scratch again. We'd probably want to. So if we have alert view here, and hit dismiss, there's nothing on there because we didn't alert that. So when we hit submit, we displayed data there, and then we're like, hey, we get another message. Do we want it? Dismiss it. Closes it. So that's this lesson on how to create an alert and how to dismiss and close it. If you have any questions, thanks for watching and have a great